Hello there, very good evening. This is the weekend edition of Primetime News on TV1 for the Newsfirst, where the people come first. I'm Martin Satyanesan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this evening.
Newsfirst headlines. Main sponsor.
Tharupena discounts of up to 30% off for frames and sunglasses from Vikramarchi Opticians.
No one can curtail the duty of the defence forces to safeguard the sovereignty of the nation, says the President. Do not allow another Chinese vessel enter the sea of Sri Lanka. India red flags Colombo and Malé over inbound Chinese survey vessel. Protests against Indian Economic Zone in Trincomalee. Special operations to combat organised crimes from tomorrow. Will the youth be given a chance to take the SLPP National Organiser post? Showery condition expected to continue further.
Newsfirst headlines. Main sponsor.
Tharupena discounts of up to 30% off for frames and sunglasses from Vikramarchi Opticians.
On to those stories in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe underscored that protecting the sovereignty of Sri Lanka is paramount. President made this statement at the parade of cadet officers during the ceremony of colours re-awarding and commissioning parade of the Sri Lanka Military Academy in Diathalava this morning.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe, upon his arrival at the Diathalava Military Academy, was welcomed with pride as military honours were offered in his honour. During the 98th Colours Re-awarding and Commissioning Parade of Sri Lanka Military Academy, Diathalava, a total of 274 cadets successfully completed their training and were officially appointed to their respective roles. 6 cadet officers from foreign countries also underwent training and assumed their duties. The President also participated in the inspection of the Colours Re-awarding and Commissioning Parade, where he bestowed the Championship Award upon the best cadet team and presented a sword to the outstanding cadets.
Sri Lanka
Sri Lanka is a sovereign state. We have operated ourselves as a sovereign country since 1948. The sovereignty of the country belongs to its people. They are the one who choose the governments. And parliamentarians are chosen by the people of this country. Also, this country has built its identity of being Sri Lankan. We all are Sri Lankans. We all are gathered here as Sinhalese, Tamils and Muslims to demonstrate and to protect our identity as Sri Lankans, to develop the economy of this country. We have witnessed what will happen to the country when the economy collapses. Our sovereignty will be challenged. If people are being treated equally in the country, there should be a community development as well. Economic and social empowerment is required. We work in this framework. Certain groups in the country holds the responsibility to protect this, starting from the president and below. The biggest responsibility lies with the armed forces. It is a massive responsibility to protect the sovereignty of the country. No one will be allowed to challenge it. If we cannot attain the results politically, we will allow the armed forces to assist in attain those goals. The sovereignty of the country belongs to its people, and it will be protected through that. India has expressed diplomatic concern to Sri Lanka and Maldives about a Chinese research vessel mission to conduct a deep water exploration of the South Indian Ocean.
After Chinese research survey vessel Xian-6 completed its survey of the coast of Sri Lanka and reached Singapore on the 2nd of December, Beijing has asked permission from Colombo and Malé to allow another research vessel to dock at their ports and conduct a deep water exploration of the South Indian Ocean from the 5th of January till late May 2024. According to the Hindustan Times, India has already raised objections with both Sri Lanka and the Maldives and asked them not to allow the Chinese vessel to conduct exploration of the Indian Ocean for future military operations. The Hindustan Times report added that the vessel Xian Yang Hong 3 is currently off the coast of Xiamen in South China Sea and will travel via Malacca to these countries after securing permission. It said, quote, "The Indian concerns over Chinese ballistic missile trackers and research surveillance ships being allowed by Sri Lanka and now with a pro-China government in the Maldives are over Beijing using these vessels to spy on India in the name of marine exploration," unquote.
The People's Struggle Movement held a protest in Trincomalee today against the sale of national assets to foreign countries.
The protest was held under the theme, Let's Defeat the India's Economic Zone program in Trincomalee that will chase away the people. The protest was held near the Trincomalee Clock Tower this morning.
The government is preparing to provide 7,000 acres to Adani near the Trincomalee port. People in the area have been instructed to evacuate from their houses. People in some other areas have been told that further construction projects cannot be conducted in those areas. Plans are also underway to give about 200,000 acres of land of the Mahavalley to India. There are also plans to build a bridge connecting India and Sri Lanka. There are plans to exchange power between the two countries. Talks are being held on a petroleum pipeline project. This will result in the northern and eastern provinces becoming India's, and then this will be the land of the Indian army.
The Executive Committee of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna today decided to leave the post of National Organizer vacant. Accordingly, former National Organizer Basil Rajapaksa was not given a post when the party's Executive Committee appointed its new office bearers.
The Executive Committee of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna met at the residence of SLPP leader Mahinda Rajapaksa in Vijayarama Mawatha in Colombo 7. Venerable Uttaravala Dhammaratana Thero was reappointed as the chairman of the party, while Sagar Karyavasam was reappointed as the General Secretary. Minister Pavitra Wanyarachi was appointed the treasurer of the SLPP. A primary post of the SLPP, the national organizer, was left vacant. However, Basil Rajapaksa was introduced as the national organizer of SLPP at the National Convention yesterday.
දැන් අද විශේෂ තනතුරක් දුන්නද කාට හරි එහෙම මොකුත් තියෙනවද?
අපේ හිතපු තනතුරුම තිබුණා විශේෂයෙන් අපේ බැසිල් රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයා ඒ ජාතික සංවිධායක ධූරයේ හිස්ව තියුවා තාම කාටවත් දෙක දුන්නේ නැහැ.
එතකොට එතුමාට තනතුරක් නැද්ද?
එතුමා දේශපාලන මණ්ඩලයේ ඇතුළේ ඉන්නවා.
තනතුර හිස්සුණා.
තනතුර හිස්සලා තියෙනවා.
දැන් ඊ අපි දැක්ක මේ බැසිල් මහත්තයා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද මේ අපි හැදුවේ ආණ්ඩුවක් නෙවෙයි පාණ්ඩුවක් කියලා. ඉතින් ඇයි එහෙම කිව්වේ?
ඉතින් හරියට තීන්දුව ගත්තා නම් අපි තාම ඒ ආණ්ඩුව තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා තමයි ඒක පාණ්ඩුවක් කියලා එතුමා පැහැදිලිව කිව්වේ.
එතකොට ගෝඨාභය මහත්තයාත් ඒකට අයිති නේද?
ඔය ඉතින් අයිති. ඒක නැහැයි කියලා කියන්න බෑ ඉතින්. වැරද්ද නම් අම්මට තාත්තට කෙලින් කියන්න පුළුවන් කොන්දක් පණ තියෙන කෙනෙක් තමයි බැසිල් රාජපක්ෂ කියන්නේ.
දැන් බැසිල් මහත්තයා නැතුව කොහොමද ඔබතුමාලා ඉදිරියට යන්නේ?
බැසිල් රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයා මේ පක්ෂය තුල ඒ ක්‍රියාකාරකම් වල ඉන්නවා.
එතුමාගේ මොකද මේ එතුමා අස් වෙන්නේ නැත්තේ ඔබතුමාලා ඇහුවේ නැද්ද මොකද වුනේ කියලා?
අපි අහන්න ඕනේ එතුමා අපිට ඕන විදිහට අපි වැඩේ කරන්නේ මෙච්චර කල් කරා වගේ එතුමා ඉදිරියටත් කරයි.
දැන් මේ බැසිල් රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයා ඉවත් වුණා කියලා ආරංචි
නෑ.
මොකක්ද උනේ?
එතුමා නිර්මාතය එතුමා කොහෙද ඉවත් වෙන්නේ?
නෑ ජාතික සංවිධායක ධූරයෙන්.
නෑ ඒ ඔක්කොම අපේ තියෙන රහස් ගේම්. ඒවා ඊටම දෙතුමා අයින් වෙලා නෑ.
ඒක එතුමා අයින් වෙලා කියලා දැන් මේ අය කිව්වා.
එහෙම කියන
ඉවත් වුණා කියලා.
එහෙම දෙයක් නෑ. ඒවා උපක්‍රමශීලී වැඩ කරනවා.
දැනට ඒ තනතුර හිස්වද තියෙන්නේ?
තනතුර හිස්ව තියෙන්නේ. වැඩ යනවා.
ඒක මොකක්ද ඒකේ තේරුම එහෙම කියන්න බෑ.
ටිකක් කල් යනකොට තේරෙන්නේ.
ඒ කියන්නේ එතුමා කියනවලු තරුණයෙකුට දෙන්න ඕන කියලා. එහෙම එකක් නෙමෙයිද?
කොහොම වුණත් එතුමා ඉන්නවා.
මහින්ද මහත්තයා ඉන්නවද?
මොරානේ දැක්කේ නේද කතාව? වෛරල් නේ කතාව. වෛරල්
නේ.
ඒ පරිණත නායකයා අපේ පරමදර්ශී නායකයා රට බේරගත් නායකයෙක් මඩ ගහලා ওই ගමන අතර කරන්න හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ.
පක්ෂයේ ජාතික සංවිධායක ධූරයේ නාම රාජපක්ෂ මහතාට දෙන්නද හදන්නේ?
ඒ පිළිබඳව තීන්දුව ගත යුත්තේ පක්ෂයේ පැහැදිලිවම ඉදිරි දේශපාලන ධාරාව එක්ක. මම හිතන්නේ මගේ නම් විතරක් නෙවෙයි මොකද විතරක් නෙවෙයි. අපේ පක්ෂයේ දක්ෂ තරුණ බොහෝ පිරිසක් ඉන්නවා. මම හිතනවා ඒ අයටත් මේ පක්ෂය තුළ වගේම රට තුළ ඉදිරියට අපි අවකාශය හදන්න ඕනේ කියලා වගේ වගේ.
ඔබතුමා සූදානම්ද ගන්න ජාතික සංවිධායක ධූරයේ?
ඒ පිළිබඳව අපි පක්ෂයේ දැන් දේශපාලන මණ්ඩලයක් ඉන්නවා. අපි දේශපාලන මණ්ඩලයක සාකච්ඡා කළා. අපි ඉදිරියේදී තීන්දුවක් ගමු.
ඔබතුමා මහලේකම්තුමා.
අද දිනේදී පක්ෂයේ ජාතික සංවිධායක ධුරය සඳහා අපි ඒ තනතුර හිස්ව තිබුණා ඉදිරි කාලයේදී අවශ්‍ය පියවර ගැනීම සඳහා.
ඒක ගැන ඔබතුමා දැන් මොකද හිතන්නේ? දැන් 103ක් කුහක ළමයි ඉපදිනවා කියලා කතාව දැන් මේ සමාජයේ කතා වෙනවා. ඒ ගැන මොකද ඔබතුමා සමාව ගන්නවද?
ඒක සත්‍යයක්. ඒක සමාව ගැනීමක් අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. ඒක තමයි ජනතාවට පෙනී යන පරම සත්‍යය ඒක.
Former chairman of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Professor G.L. Piris, called on the chief incumbent of the Siam sect, Venerable Niyangoda Wijitasiri Thero, in Kandy. Speaking to the media, he said that the SLPP is destroying its policies in the current government.
What did Mahinda Rajapaksa as the leader and myself as the chairman do? We showed the people a clear manifesto. That is why we received the people's mandate. Now what do? Now they have partnered up with the UNP and laid down a program so contrary to what we initially promised. This is breaking all the promises we made to the people. The way I see it, the major issue in the SLPP is their partnership with the UNP. That is not compatible. The programs that are carried out by the SLPP in partnership with the UNP today are contradictory to all the SLPP core principles. Leader of the Jatika Janabalawege, Anrukumara Disanayake, expressed views regarding the SLPP party convention in the Kalmune Balamandala meeting.
These are leaders that worsened our plight. Now what are they doing again? They are trying to return under a new guise. These are leaders that were ousted by the people during May and June last year. Where did Mahinda, who was in Colombo at the time, seek refuge? He went to the Trincomalee camp. Where did Basil Rajapaksa hide? He was airborne in a helicopter. Namal too joined his father in the Trincomalee camp. Gotabaya Rajapaksa ran away to the Maldives and thereafter Singapore. Do you remember this? Now they are holding conventions. They have re-elected Mahinda as their leader. It is always Mahinda. Mahinda needs support to stand on stage and address a gathering. Now they are apparently coming again to rebuild the nation. But will we allow them? No. We used to see Mahinda Rajapaksa and Ranil Wickremesinghe as political opponents, but today they have partnered up and formed a government. The former presidents Mahinda Rajapaksa, Gotabaya Rajapaksa and former central bank governor has been held responsible for the economic bankruptcy of the country. Former finance minister Basil Rajapaksa and chief government whip Prasanna Ranatunga has also been held responsible by the court. Red warrants have been issued to former central bank governor Arjuna Mahendran. A country where law doesn't prevail and rogues rule. The former central bank governor said that he acted according to the directions given to him by finance minister. These allegations regarding the Easter tax as well. The people should be ashamed to be ruled by such leaders.
Executive Committee member People's Struggle Movement Wasantha Mudalage spoke about the SLPP party convention.
We saw the SLPP proudly hold a national convention in the Sugadadasa Stadium. They are saying that this is the last chance to save the country. They are asking for another chance to save the country by introducing a new campaign called IBO 2024. They are putting forth the same forces and just making minor changes. After asking for an opportunity to save the country, they are then calling for an inquiry to be conducted against those who fought to protect this country and the rights of its people. Mahinda, who is a major crook himself, is asking for investigations to be conducted on others. The question we have is that the person who was held responsible for the economic bankruptcy of the country by the judiciary is the one speaking about the rights of the people and asking for investigations. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that they have launched a nationwide campaign focused on the youth.
දැන් මේ තරුණ තරුණියන් අහන එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිත් අනික් සම්ප්‍රදාන කුල දේශපාලන
A question that this young generation constantly asks is, what is the difference between the traditional political parties and us? The difference is that for the past 75 years, everyone spoke about our democratic history after receiving a high office. But sitting in the opposition, we have significantly contributed towards the development of the country. We had donated medical equipment worth 171.9 million to 56 hospitals. We have donated buses worth 389.2 million to 80 government schools in an effort to strengthen free education. With an investment of 51 million, we have donated 54 smart classrooms to government schools. What other opposition has done such island-wide impactful activities? Our efforts are not to show the usual pleasant front and mislead the youth. We are entering into social contract with you. I would like to say that through the social contract, the political right, economic right, social right and right to life of the youth of this country are affirmed.
The opposition leader made these comments while addressing the Bingiriya Balamandala meeting.
With just days until 2024, Gammadu reflects on a year of delivering impactful projects to rural Sri Lanka. fueled by the unwavering strength of the people. And today the people of Ratmalvatiya Galenbidunuava takes a step closer to clean drinking water with the launch of a new project.
Ratmalvatiya is home to about 500 farming families of Anurapure. The farmers tirelessly toil 365 days a year to nourish the people of our country with their blood, sweat and tears. And in this village is the Ratmalvatiya Primary School. Hundreds of children fill the classrooms of Ratmalvatiya Primary School, their thirst for knowledge only matched by their thirst for clean water. Meanwhile, there are some children battling health issues caused by contaminated drinking water. Villagers walk miles every day just for a drink of clean water. Even then, they have to wait for hours in long lines. All the people in Ratmalvatiya share just one well. And finally, the people share their woes with Gammatha. Gammatha took the initiative to save lives by constructing a water purification system, bringing new hope to these people. A project for the people of rural Sri Lanka fueled by the unwavering strength of the people. The project is being implemented with the generous donations of Dr. Helani Jayasena from Rajagiriya, Harsha Dias from Navala, Ruki Vijayratna from Colombo too, and Ramzin Razak. The project's foundation stone was laid with blessings from the Mahasangha, led by Venerable Kanni Maduwe Dhammananda Thera. Sri Lanka Navy provided the technical support for the water purification system. Consul General for Panama in Sri Lanka Susantha Jayasena, Assistant Divisional Secretary of Galenbidunuava JLM SSLM Veerasinghe, Lieutenant Commander TMA Srimevan, Police OIC of Galenbidunuava Police Station DMSAJ Disanaika also attended the event. Performances by the children in the village filled the event with joy. Zonal Education Director of Galenbidunuava Imali Randika Nakalanda, Principal of the Ratmalvatiya Primary School J.K. Herath, Administrative Public Health Inspector Aruna Senaviratna and Gammatha General Secretary Prasannatha Korala were at the event as well. Ratmalvatiya's thirst for clean drinking water will be quenched soon, as Gammatha promised the people today to complete the water purification system under the Gammatha Rapid Development Projects.
Newsfirst with the people.
A United Nations Development Programme Regional Human Development Report has pointed out that the country is exhibiting the highest wealth inequality in South Asia as measured by the wealth share of the top 10%, includes Sri Lanka.
The United Nations Development Programme Regional Human Development Report, using data tracked by the World Inequality Database, showed that Asia and the Pacific have some of the biggest gaps between the rich and the poor in the world. The UNDP report highlighted that inequality remains deeply entrenched, and the richest 10% consistently command over half the total income, and in South Asia in particular, income inequality has been worsening. There are persistent inequalities in the distribution of wealth, especially in Southeast Asia and South Asia, with the highest wealth inequality observed in China, India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka and Thailand. It added that human development progress overall has also been very uneven. The report highlighted that inequality is further exacerbated by corruption and a weak tax policy and administration, as well as by the lack of effective social safety nets.
Minister of Public Security Tiran Alu says that special operations will be launched at dawn tomorrow to combat organized crimes. He made the statement during a meeting with senior officials of the police department.
The meeting of the senior police officials and the representatives at the Southern Province Community Police was held in Ambalantota today. The meeting was attended by the acting IGP, Deshabandhu Thenakun, and several other senior officials.
The STF will not allow drugs to enter the country through the southern province. The STF will launch special operations against all drug dealers and organized criminals from tomorrow. We will take action against them.
Acting IGP Deshabandhu Thenakun stressed that every police OIC in the country must contribute to combat crimes.
From January onwards, no one can exit the country through the airport with forged passports. When their photograph is clicked, they can identify if the individual is a criminal. And within minutes, they will arrest them within the BIA. Every criminal must be arrested within this week. I have a list with me. If anyone cannot be arrested by the OIC, we will make a decision. Because we understand with such people, we cannot control the drug menace in the country. Drugs are sold even near schools. When the next term starts, the area OIC must make sure these are prevented.
කුඩු විකුණන අයටත් මට පණිවිඩයක් දෙන්න තියෙනවා. කරුණා කරලා මේ
I have a message for the drug dealers. Please stop this. I have instructed the officials to use maximum force against them. Today I would like to tell them to stop this immediately. I also have a message for the organized criminals. You know that you will end up being killed either by the police or their enemies. We all know the state of their families thereafter. Please pass my message on to these organized criminals that no matter what they do, this is going to be their situation at the end of the day. If they don't put a stop to this today, we will locate them. Then a shootout will happen and they will end up getting killed. That cannot be stopped. Isn't it a better option to quit this and live a good life with your family instead of getting yourself killed? That is my message to the drug dealers and organized criminals. I would like to request all of you to work together with us to implement this. Our operations will be launched from dawn tomorrow. Support us. Inform us of anything you hear or know. Encourage the police to conduct these operations. Please do that for us and we will take care of the rest.
The Department of Meteorology predicts that due to the low level of atmospheric disturbance in the vicinity of Sri Lanka, showery condition is expected to continue further.
23 families in the Iyankovila village have been temporarily directed to safe camps due to the flood and the opening of the sluice gates of the Iranamadu River. Due to the overflowing of the Vaunikulam River in Mullaitivu, many low-lying areas and roads have been submerged in the East Monday. The Department of Irrigation says that the water levels in the Gin, Nilwala and Malwatoya are on the rise. The department said that the water levels of the Ging River have risen from Baddegama, while the water levels of the Nilwala River is rising from Panadugama and the Malwatoya from Tantrimale. Several areas in Baddegama remain flooded. The Malimbada Kadua road in Matra is also flooded. Due to the showery condition, the Colombo-Kataragama main road remains flooded in Valigatta. Few areas in Hambantota too remain flooded. Many places in Badagiriya have been flooded with the spilling of the Veheragoda lake. Four sluice gates were opened today in the Dadaroya Reservoir. 18 sluice gates of the Thabo Reservoir were also opened this morning.
More news will follow after this short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Gypsies live in concert with Sirasa TV, where music meets the spirit of the season. Christmas with Gypsies. Back after 25 years to Vihara Mahadevi Open Air. Sirasa Flashtown 23 Gypsies live in concert. Featuring BNS, Hana and Nadima. Get your tickets now. Media sponsors Sirasa TV and TV1.
Inflation, exchange rates and the rise and fall of the stock market. Bringing you insights into the business world. Watch the Business Buzz every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. on TV1.
There are the issues of misgovernance, of systems of governance not quite working in the way that they're supposed to. And of course, the big issue of corruption.
We've survived crisis after crisis after crisis.
That vision of a collective effort of nation building is gone.
You are bound by other international agreements, international conventions, international traditions which you have to maintain.
They hoped that Gotabaya Rajapaksa would be the strong man who would, look after them and allow them to do whatever. But he proved both to be a coward and incompetent.
On the People's Platform, Monday to Friday at 8:30 p.m. on TV1.
Shifting your attention to international news, the Israel Defense Forces said it mistakenly killed 3 hostages in northern Gaza.
The Israeli military said it has mistakenly killed 3 hostages during its campaign in Gaza after they were misidentified as a threat. They were named as 28-year-old Yotam Haim, 22-year-old Samar Talalka, and 26-year-old Alon Shamriz. The military shared its remorse and said that the 3 were shot by troops operating in Shajaya in Gaza's north. More than 100 hostages remain in captivity in Gaza after being captured on the 7th of October attacks on Israel. The IDF said yesterday's incident was under investigation and that it, quote-unquote, expresses deep remorse over the tragic incident and sends the families its heartfelt condolences.
In more international news, a local deputy detonated grenades in a village council in Ukraine, injuring at least 26 people.
A local deputy detonated grenades in a village council in Ukraine's western region, injuring at least 26 people. According to foreign media, the detonation happened during the council session. It was not clear how many grenades were detonated or what motives the deputy had.
Rudy Giuliani, the former New York mayor who served as Donald Trump's personal lawyer, has been ordered to pay $148 million in damages to 2 former election workers he defamed with false claims about the 2020 presidential election.
An 8-person federal jury in Washington, D.C. said on Friday that Giuliani should pay Ruby Freeman and her daughter Vandria Shea Moss $75 million impunity damages, plus $36 million each for defamation and emotional distress for falsely claiming that they tried to rig the election against Trump. The award comes after Freeman and Moss, 2 former poll workers in Fulton County, Georgia, testified that Giuliani's false claims had made them the target of a flood of racist threats. In court, Moss and Freeman, who are black, described fearing for their lives after being falsely accused of hiding ballots in suitcases, counting votes multiple times and interfering with voting machines. Freeman testified that she fled her home after the FBI told her she wasn't safe, and Moss told jurors she rarely leaves her home and suffers from panic attacks.
Kuwait's Emir Sheikh Nawaf Al Hamad Al Jabbar Al Sabah has died at the age of 86.
Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah Al Sabah, the minister of his emirate court, said in a statement aired on state television on Saturday, quote, "With great sadness and sorrow, we, the Kuwaiti people, the Arab and Islamic nations, and the friendly peoples of the world, mourn the late His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmad Al Jabbar Al Sabah, who passed away to his Lord today," end quote. Authorities gave no cause of death, but announced the start of a 40-day official mourning period and a 3-day closure of government departments. The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs said Kuwait's Crown Prince and his half-brother Sheikh Mishal Al Ahmad Al Jabbar Al Sabah, 83, was subsequently named new Emir, a statement from Isa Al Kandari.
We'll continue with more news after this short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Tharu Painted discounts. Enjoy up to 30% off on frames and sunglasses this Christmas with Vikramarachi Opticians.
Inflation, exchange rates, and the rise and fall of the stock market. Bringing you insights into the business world. Watch the Business Buzz every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. on TV1.
There are the issues of misgovernance, of systems of governance not quite working in the way that they're supposed to. And of course, the big issue of corruption.
We've survived crisis after crisis after crisis.
That vision of a collective effort of nation building is gone.
You are bound by other international agreements, international conventions, international traditions which you have to maintain.
They hoped that Gotabaya Rajapaksa would be the strong man who would, look after them and allow them to do whatever. But he proved both to be a coward and incompetent.
On the People's Platform, Monday to Friday at 8:30 p.m. on TV1.
After intense competition, Royal College Colombo emerged as champions in the grand finale of the debater with AAT Sri Lanka, held this afternoon at Stein Studios, Ratmalana.
The Stein Studios complex in Ratmalana pulsed with the thrill of victory as 4 top Sri Lankan school debate teams battled for the crown. Out of 64 schools, 4 qualified for the finals of the debater with AAT Sri Lanka. Royal College Colombo, Sirimao Bandaranaike Vidyalaya Colombo, Anula Vidyalaya Nugegoda and Dharmaraja College Kandy. The debater with AAT Sri Lanka finals took place with international caliber debate, leaving the audience captivated.
The debater with AAT Sri Lanka. Grand finale.
The final round of the debater with AAT Sri Lanka promised a battle of wit and intellect, with Royal College Colombo confidently taking the affirmative and Anula Vidyalaya ready with their counter-arguments waiting to pounce. Sirimao Bandaranaike Vidyalaya competed as the back row proponent team and Dharmaraja College Kandy as the back row opponent team. 7 distinguished judges presided over the debater with AAT Sri Lanka finals, including Vice-Chancellor of the University of Sri Jayawardenepura, Senior Professor Padmalal M. Manage, Commissioner of Education Publications Attorney Gautama De Silva Karyavasam, retired High Court Judge Irangani Pereira, President of the Sri Lanka Institute of Policy Studies Professor Sirimala Berapna, and Executive of the AAT Sri Lanka Institute Tishanga Kumarasinghe rounded out the panel. The Colombo Independent Debater Society brought their expertise to the final tournament with senior member Tharushi Gamage and Vice President Attorney Nipul Srimal. The final competition revolved around the question, should Sri Lanka's economic policies create a breathing space for the current generation? Visakha Vidyalaya Colombo, the reigning champions, surrendered their coveted shield. The event was also made colourful with various performances. All 8 finalists of the competition received full scholarships for the AAT professional course, paving the way for their bright futures in accounting. To empower students preparing for the upcoming 2024 ordinary level examinations, a series of free seminars were also offered to schools who participated in the finals. Hirun Matisha of Royal College Colombo was awarded the Best Speaker Award in the 4th edition of the debater with AAT Sri Lanka. Anula Vidyalaya Nugegoda emerged runners-up, while Royal College Colombo secured the top spot and emerged as champions in the grand final of the debater with AAT Sri Lanka.
Raptures of the Mind, the first ever collective art exhibition organized by Arts Power by Dilla, had its launch yesterday in Colombo, exhibiting paintings and artworks created and brought to life by talented artists. The exhibition will be on display until tomorrow.
Are you ready for an extraordinary journey into the realms of creativity? Well, here's Art Spa by Dilla presenting to you Raptures of the Mind.
Art Spa by Dilla, created and founded by Dilla Veerasinghe, has offered many amateur artists an opportunity to paint as a way to express their artistic talents, as painting, in Dilla's opinion, can aid in relaxation and emotional processing.
It's all about amateur artists who have taken up painting in their spare time. They've come up with some wonderful work that is worth showcasing. They're also donating a part of contribution to the Indira Cancer Trust, and that's the reason why we're holding this exhibition.
The first ever collective art exhibition organized by Art Spa by Dilla, Raptures of the Mind, was launched yesterday and will be open for the public for 3 days until tomorrow at the Lionel Wendt Arts Centre in Colombo. The exhibition features a diverse range of works from emerging artists exploring a variety of themes. The title, Raptures of the Mind, is intended to evoke a sense of creative exploration where they paint and unwind, with every brushstroke expressing their unique perspective.
Sports First hosted the 55th Gamata Krida, searching for hidden gems in rural areas to make them national and international sports stars. Today's program was held at the Vijayapura Mahavidyalaya in Thanamalvila.
SLT Mobitel and Fonterra teamed up to sponsor the 55th edition of the Gamata Krida, themed Apeng Gamata Gamen Ratata. The training camp was launched today following an opening ceremony organized by the students of the Vijayapura Mahavidyalaya in Thanamalvila. Principal of the Vijayapura Mahavidyalaya, Anra Vijay Soma, Thanamalvila Zonal Education Director Buddhika Karnadasa, Director of Newsfirst Vasantha Masinghage, SLT Mobitel Monragala District Manager Harshana Maduranga, SLT Mobitel Regional Manager Thilini Danapala, former Sri Lanka cricket fast bowling coach Anusha Samaranayaka, coach of Sri Lanka cricket A team Avishka Gunawardana, national squad coaches for athletics Madhava Senrad Bandara and Sujit Abesekra, veteran athlete Nimali Lianarachi, veteran football coach Rienzi Wallace, head coach of the volleyball national team Chandra Jayasekara, and the former coach of the Kabaddi national team Rakshita Viduranga were among those who attended the event. Nearly 450 athletes from the Vijayapura Mahavidyalaya and 30 surrounding schools received valuable training today from the experienced coaches with national and international accolades.
From that, we bring to a close this edition of Primetime News on TV1. For details of the stories and much more, simply log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First, where the people come first, I'm Martin Satyanesan. You take care and good night.